Hey guys, I'm back and I am drowning in tea, so grab your cup and pull up a seat because we have a lot to cover. Before we get into the video, I just want to preface it by saying, regardless of how you feel about Jeffree, please look at the situation at hand and not the fact that it's coming from him, because people tend to judge a situation differently when he's involved. But what's interesting is that when he evokes change for consumers, such as the whole Kylie lip gloss wand issue, some of the same people had no issue reaping the reward that came out of that Snapchat rant. That reward being replacement glosses for those who purchased the ones containing defective wands. Let's face it, before that rant and subsequent tweets, complaints about the defective wands were going unanswered and no one was getting anywhere with Kylie's customer service, but people were happy to accept him when they were benefiting from the situation. So all I'm saying, guys, is please keep an open mind and try to see the situation for what it is. Okay, so now that that's all out of the way, obviously you've already heard about this tea because it is all over social media and has now made its way onto sites such as Allure, Cosmo, Teen Vogue, VH1, The Inquisitor, Refinery 29, basically every site in their vagina has covered this story by now. But what those sites don't have is an exclusive quote from Jeffree himself, inclusive of never before heard details of what really went down with the Nicki and Too Faced collab and the official answer as to what the current status is of his friendship with Nikkii. All of which I will share with you later in the video, but what's interesting about the situation is how it all started with one shady little hashtag about unicorns and blew up into the resurrection of stale tea from August 2016, which left a lot of us with more questions than answers. Well, almost a year later, we finally have answers about what happened with the Nikkietutorials and Too Faced Power of Makeup collab, as well as all the contract details from the deal. So let's jump right in. Okay, so on Saturday, Jeffree Star must have been feeling a little frisky because he went on one of his infamous Twitter rants, which don't happen too often, but when they do, you better grab your tea, grab your popcorn, grab your wig, because it's gonna be a fucking good show. Obviously, I'm talking about the whole Too Faced Cosmetics situation, but let me give you a little background on Too Faced. So Too Faced Cosmetics was co-founded by Jeremy Johnson and Jared Blandino in 1998. In or around November 2016, it was confirmed that Estee Lauder acquired Too Faced Cosmetics for a whopping $1.45 billion. We are delighted to be joining forces with the Estee Lauder companies as we continue to drive Too Faced's dynamic growth, the duo said in a November 14th, 2016 press release. I know some of you were confused as to why the former co-owner of Too Faced was still tweeting and posting pics on Instagram under the Too Faced name if the company was bought by Estee Lauder, and the answer is because obviously they are still involved with the company in some capacity. Estee Lauder could have purchased the company, but the former co-owners still run the show. We don't know what the deal was between Estee Lauder and Too Faced, and it doesn't matter. So anyway, on April 22nd, Jared Blandino, one of the co-founders of Too Faced, posted this picture, which, by the way, is actually Chloe Morello's picture with no credit given to her. Anyway, Jared Blandino posted Chloe's picture of their La Creme color-drenched lipstick in the shade Unicorn Tears to Instagram, along with this caption: Unicorn Tears, the original that started a craze and still holds the #1 spot as the best-selling lipstick in all of Ulta. Copycats aren't unicorns, hashtag there aren't unicorns in the Amazon. Okay, so shade towards Tarte Cosmetics confirmed, and I'll explain that in a minute, but Jeffree then tweets Jared Blandino's IG post along with this caption: LOL, when the owner of Too Faced throws shade at Tarte Cosmetics like he invented unicorns, hashtag egomaniac. So let me explain this for those who aren't aware of where the shade lies. As for Jared Blandino's hashtag there aren't unicorns in the Amazon, Tarte Cosmetics has a large Amazonian clay collection within their line. Now, recently they came out with a unicorn collection, which we know is a huge trend right now, from unicorn frappuccinos to unicorn essence to unicorn-inspired makeup looks and unicorn snot. It's a fucking magical, mystical unicorn world right now, especially in the beauty community. So subsequent to Jeffree's first tweet, he followed it up with this one. Funny how he deleted the hashtag 10 minutes later. If you have the balls to say it, keep it up there and don't be scared of the backlash. So obviously Jared must have deleted the hashtag there aren't unicorns in the Amazon from his pic on IG. I didn't manage to get a screenshot of the amended caption, and in fact when I went to Instagram to check it out, the entire picture had been deleted, likely because of the backlash he received, as Jeffree said. Jeffree then goes on to tweet, since at Too Faced thinks they invented unicorns, maybe they should sue at Starbucks, hashtag egomaniac. And I'm just gonna go through all the tweets so you have all the tea. So next we have Jeffree quoting a tweet from a fan who said, "Damn, I thought today's forecast was supposed to be sunny, not shady." And he replied with, "Just speaking the truth, fire emoji," followed by another quoted tweet from a fan saying whatever happened to his Better Together message, referring to the Too Faced and Kat Von D collab, which was called Better Together. So gross, unicorns would never be so mean. Also, it's just fucking lipstick, LMAO. To which he responded with, "I'll just leave this here." Jeffree took it a step further and tweeted, "When someone's ego is so big, they think they invented unicorn makeup. Okay, at Too Faced, you can't fool anyone. What about Lime Crime?" So if you are a makeup lover, you'll know that Lime Crime had unicorn lipsticks before unicorns became a trend. But it was his next tweet where he made it clear that this rant was far from over. In fact, he was just getting started and no one was prepared for what he dropped next. He tweets, at Jared Blandino, "Should I expose how shady you were with at Nikkietutorials contract or maybe save that for another day?" Followed by, "If you guys knew the real truth behind Nikkie's at Too Faced palette contract, you'd cry for her, ... but I'll let her tell you one day." There's so much shady and disgusting behavior that goes on behind the scenes in the beauty world. It's hard watching people get burned. At Jared Blandino, "You guys took advantage of an innocent girl and gave her almost nothing. How the fuck do you sleep at night?" Okay, so let's talk about Nikkie and her contract with Too Faced. If you saw my previous video on this issue, which I will link in the description box below, I confirmed the details of the contract there, and I will go over them again, but I just want to give you some background on the collab itself. So, Nikkie and Too Faced released their Power of Makeup collab on August 15th, 2016, which included 9 eyeshadows, 2 blushes, 1 bronzer, and a highlight shade. It also came with a mini Better Than Sex mascara, a mini Shadow Insurance eyeshadow primer, a black liquid liner, and glitter for $56 US. But not long after the palette was released, reviews of poor quality and poor pigmentation came flooding in on the Too Faced site and Sephora.com, and Nikkie faced a huge amount of backlash from her subscribers regarding the lack of pigmentation of the shades and the lack of quality of the palette as a whole. She was supposed to address the situation with her fans but remained tight-lipped, only posting the following subtweets, which led everyone to believe there was more to the story and that she was bound by a contract or an NDA which would prohibit her from disclosing the details of what really went down. She tweeted, "I've been sabotaged from the beginning. There's so many things I want to say but I can't. I want to but I can't." Then followed that up with, "Please know I always want the best for you and I've been played. Dirty. I love you." So remember, these tweets are from February 2016 and left everyone speculating that she was talking about her deal with Too Faced. The situation was never addressed by Nikkie or Too Faced and was kind of just swept under the rug, leaving people A, wondering what the fuck happened, and B, a lot of people hating on Nikkie for not addressing the backlash when she was unable to do so legally. So here we are now, all of this shit goes down with Jeffree mentioning Nikkie's contract and how she was taken advantage of by Too Faced, and then the details of the contract get leaked by Sanders Kennedy, which I further confirmed to be 100% true and accurate. The details are as follows. Nikkie was paid only $50,000 for the collab. The collab sold 150,000 units, which is equal to almost $9 million in sales. Nikkie was supposed to be paid in 6 months, however, it took Too Faced 9 months to pay her, and during that time, she was not allowed to work with any other company, so she would not be able to take on any other potential collabs, which may have even been more lucrative for her than this Too Faced deal, and on top of that, Too Faced was supposed to release a second batch of palettes, but they never ended up doing so. Now, in my last video, I saw people saying, how can you say she was only paid $50,000? That's a lot of money. Yes, that's a lot of money to an ordinary person, but you have to remember that Nikkie is a YouTube celebrity, if you will. She is a brand and her name on a palette is worth a large amount of money, and considering that she herself is half the collab, $50,000 on $9 million in sales is nothing, and honestly, probably not even worth her time, especially considering that during this time she could have lost out on other potential opportunities which may have even paid her more. I also saw comments from people saying, well, she signed the contract, so it's her fault, and she should have had a lawyer look it over, which, by the way, we don't know whether she did or not, but here's the thing. This was her first brand deal, and I think at the time she was very naive and trusting of Too Faced, being that they are a well-known company, and Too Faced used that to their advantage and underpaid her. And even if she was naive, you'd think Too Faced would have some integrity and pay her what she deserved, because they definitely knew better. Now, as for the people saying it was not Jeffree's place to bring up Nikkie's contract and that it was a shady thing to do, I spoke to Jeffree directly and asked him what he would say to that, and this is what he said. Everyone nowadays calls everything shady when it comes to honesty. Her and I are no longer friends, you can confirm that, but I still respect her hustle, and I watched firsthand how they abused her and know how much she got paid. It's embarrassing. I think anyone else but me would be scared to mention the contract. I did it to make a statement, and so the audience has a taste as to why her palette was so shitty. She approved something, and what was produced was not the same quality. He also went on to say that he will continue to speak the truth, and she, meaning Nikkie, can sit back. So how's that for exclusive tea, guys? The palette that Nikkie approved was not the same quality as the one that was produced, and that is why the palette was so shitty and Nikkie had nothing to do with it. Maybe this explains the drastic difference between Nikkie's swatches and Stephanie Nicole's swatches. Oh, and while Jeffree was spilling the truth on Twitter, Jared Blandino, who by the way is almost 50 years old, was on Instagram liking comments from people like this who said that it's very sad that Tarte Cosmetics can't create their own shit. And then there's this one where someone says that Jeffree is jealous that he wasn't invited to the Too Faced Coachella party, and Jared responds to that person with, "Will you marry me?" There are a lot more comments from people calling Jeffree a bully that Jared liked, yet he hasn't responded at all to this situation. What I will say is that I highly doubt Jeffree would put all of this information out there if it wasn't the truth, and I believe the reason Jared hasn't responded is because everything Jeffree said is fact and there's no getting around it. Anyway, you guys, I'm gonna leave you with Jeffree's complete Snapchat rant in case you missed it. I have a feeling this tea is far from over, but I will obviously keep you updated. Let me know your thoughts on the situation in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys again soon in my next one. Bye!
Okay, I just want to come on here for a second as someone that has been buying makeup for a really long time and someone that is a fan of the brand Too Faced. Now, I know some people are not gonna like this opinion because it's me, and I guess whenever it involves me, I'm not allowed to have an opinion, but hold on a sec. So recently, the brand Tarte Cosmetics put out an entire unicorn collection with unicorn brushes, lipstick, mascara, palette, everything. So I'm scrolling through Instagram right now, and the owner of Too Faced just threw major shade at Tarte Cosmetics. So this is the owner of Too Faced Instagram page. He posts a picture of his own Unicorn Tears lipstick, hashtag, "There aren't unicorns in the Amazon." Oh! It's a pretty common fact that Tarte has a huge Amazon collection. Palettes, blushes, lipsticks, everything Amazon. So let's go back to the shade. Then he has to, of course, announce that it has the #1 spot as the best-selling lipstick in all of Ulta. Aw, congrats. I'll tell you what the problem here is. Who's that insecure that they have to post something that shady about another brand? And one other small problem, this is Chloe Morello, who is a huge YouTuber. This is her photo. You didn't tag her here, you didn't tag her there. And of course, 10 minutes later, after hundreds of hate comments, the picture is now off of his page. Girl, already? If you had the fucking balls to tweet that in your mansion, you should have the balls to keep it up on your motherfucking Instagram. But I'm over here scratching my head like, as a makeup lover and as a makeup fan, you're shading another brand so petty and gross. Like, it wasn't even creative. It just sucked. But I guess he sold his brand to Estee Lauder, which is great. Congratulations. But you have so much money now, it's clouding your fucking judgment, fool. Wake the fuck up. Who is that delusional and dumb to think that they invented unicorn makeup? You want me to spill the real fucking tea right now? You want me to keep it really real? I literally despise the owner of Lime Crime. But you guys you want some fucking facts? Who created unicorn lipstick 7 years ago, bitch? All tea, all shade. Lime Crime has had unicorn lipsticks for a long time. So Jared, let's come back to earth, baby. Let's come back. I'm just saying, y'all, I am so disappointed as a fan of makeup, and I'm just done supporting people who are gonna treat people like that. And I already see Twitter going ham. Focus on the subject at hand. Don't try to bring anything from the past out. Just focus on what I just said. I don't care who did unicorn what, when, where. I have a unicorn blood lipstick. Should I start suing? Girl, spare me. It's makeup. So tweet me your guys' thoughts. I just wanted to go on a little rant and just vent because sometimes a bitch needs to let out her feelings, and I'm tired of the shadiness. Since people want receipts always, the owner of Too Faced, there is his Twitter, of course. This is the deleted post. Honey, you forgot that. At the end of the day, makeup is about creativity and inspiring others and having fun with art and creating. Let's go back to that. Sometimes I just want to spill the tea and let you guys know the truth about so many things I see in the beauty world, but I can't. If I could tell you the contract that Nikkietutorials signed for her Too Faced palette and what they did to her, you guys would fucking scream. But if she wants to talk about that one day, I will let her. They probably had her sign so many contracts and agreements that she's not ever allowed to even speak of it. But I'll tell you this, Too Faced. Keep shading brands and running your fucking mouth, and the truth will come out. But for now, I'll let you sleep. The difference between me and them, I'm not owned by a company. I'm not owned by a corporation. I own myself, and I'm always going to keep it real with you guys and share my thoughts. The truth always comes out. It might take a few months, might take a while, you never know. But bitch, when it hits, it's going to hit hard. Unicorns may not exist in the Amazon, but they sure exist in my motherfucking house, bitch! Come through, tart. On a quick side note, so many of you are sharing that the owner of Too Faced keeps liking all of these Instagram comments, like degrading me. Of course he's gonna do that. I gotta sit back and laugh because, Jared, you are 47 years old and you're liking comments of children talking shit about me. You would think that old-ass man, 47 years old, would understand. Maybe just stay offline or admit all the shit that's true about you. It's crazy that the owner of Too Faced is still not admitting anything. Just keeping quiet, and he's liking a bunch of fucking comments shading me. Instead of obsessively reading all of your comments, why don't you go in your office and scan that Nikkietutorials contract and show the world what the fuck you really did to her? But let me tell you guys one thing. I know why he's staying silent, because he knows I have 10 more receipts that would put him in the fucking grave. It's clearly that he's too scared to even speak. I'm like, girl, at your age, you're afraid of me? You're afraid to speak? You're afraid to acknowledge the fucking truth? I gotta say one last final thought, you guys. I know that they're collabing with my girl Candy Johnson, who I love and admire and respect. I pray that contract and that business is way better than what they did to Nikkie, because Candy, if you're watching this, you deserve better, so please be careful.